Hello everyone, and welcome back to Crafted Creations. Today I'm going to show you how to paint this Predator minibus that I found online in order to commemorate the release of Predator Badlands. We're going to go ahead and paint a YAUTJA here from the Predator franchise. It's been a while since I had put up a video and I wanted to do something for you. I figured this would be a nice fun way to commemorate the release of the recent film, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and do a base coat here with this green. We're going to go ahead and paint all of the flesh parts of the model here. I'm going to go ahead and put a link to this STL file in the description in the bio down below in case you too want to 3D print this and follow along the tutorial here as well. I'm going to mix up a couple different colors. We're going to use various shades of green, yellow, I've got this brown. We're going to dull the green tones down a little bit as well as the black. And we're going to go ahead and apply some of these layers like washes. If you've seen some of my other videos, you know I like to add lots and lots of layers with very, very watered down bits of paint. To me, it's kind of like applying like a wash, but when it comes to flesh tones, whether it's an alien such as this, or human skin tones, I do find it gives you a lot more color variation. It makes things look more realistic. So I went ahead and did a base coat with that green, mixed a little bit of the brown and black to go ahead and add some shadows to some of the darker parts of the model. While that's drying, I'm going to go ahead and just layer down some gray here for this stand, kind of make it look like a rock a little bit. It's got some nice detail on the figure itself. The base stand was a nice little added touch. Now that that's dry, we'll go ahead and lighten things up. I'm going to go ahead and use this yellow mixed with a little bit of the brown and some of the barnwood color paint. I'm going to go ahead and add some highlights into the chest and ab area there. And you can see with this very watered down paint, a lot of it sinks into the cracks and creases, but it gives you a nice duller coat. It doesn't have a very highly saturated color that messes up with the layer that I did down below. And it makes it easier to blend your colors as well when you do it like this. Any water-based paints, you just wet your brush. As long as you go on there before it's fully dry, you can kind of blend those colors in pretty nice and neat. Looks a little messy now, but once we start adding the details and go in with a black wash and touch it up a few different times, you'll see it really start to come together towards the end of the video here. I like using the dark washes because that definitely brings out a lot of detail with the 3D models, especially indentations, muscle texture, anything like that. In this case, he's got some kind of scaly texture to the skin. When you do a dark wash, that black really sinks into those indented areas and just makes the model a lot more noticeable and brings out the three-dimensional shapes of the STL models. And here, once we get done with this, we're going to let that dry and we'll start blocking out some of the base coats for the armor. We'll go ahead and use barnwood with a little bit of gray. Go ahead and block this out. Once we get a nice base coat down, we're going to add a wash to the armor, and then we're going to use some of the Tamiya weathering powders to go ahead and shine that up, make it look more metallic. And the way that I did this, I went and started with the armor. You can see I'm just kind of painting wildly over the dreadlocks of the Predator. It's going to be hard to get in and do detailed paint on some of those inner pieces, so I figured if we can at least paint what's visible of the armor underneath first, then when I go in and layer the black color for the dreadlocks on top, it will hide a lot of the imperfections and bits and pieces of that back area that aren't going to be visible to the naked eye. The ones that you kind of know are there that you didn't get to paint just hides things a little bit easier. It's looking pretty good there. Let's go ahead and did the mask as well. Now we'll start doing a little bit more on the dark washes after we get the dreadlocks done here. I'm just using a slightly thinner brush for this part just because the dreadlocks do get thinner towards the bottom and I don't really want to mess up any of the stuff that I've painted already. That's coming along nicely. Go ahead and just paint up the tips here, there. Once we're done with this, there's some beads and ornamental jewelry in the dreadlocks, so we're going to go ahead and use some of that Tamiya weathering powders to go ahead and shine those up and bring out the metallic details in the sculpt there. Go ahead and add that wash, and you can see with the heavily watered down paint, you just kind of touch the brush right in the cracks and crevices, and that water just flows right where it needs to go, right in that model. Don't need any fancy expensive washes. You can use just normal acrylic paints there. Go ahead and do the same with the helmet. You can see just how much it brings out the detail in that from a solid color, just adding some shadows. Next, we'll use the silver Tamiya weathering powders. You can see right off the bat, just a little bit of dusting on the helmet brings out that nice shine, reflects the light, makes it look a lot more metallic. If you want, you can also go in with a fine tip brush with some silver paint to just kind of add some line work to that with a little bit of highlight. The weathering powders are really nice. They're a little more dull than traditional silver paint, but I find they do look the most natural on camera. I'm going to use a different color there and just add some of this rust color to the skin to bring out some more texture there. Do a little bit more on the wash. A few more details there. And I do have some more customs and 3D print projects in the works. Haven't been able to do a whole lot lately. I've been dealing with some medical issues, but I'm going to be trying to get back to a regular schedule every other week of uploads again here in the near future. Probably have one more custom video and then probably a collection tour or a year-end recap towards the end of the year, New Year's time. But going into 2026, I want to get back onto an every other week schedule like I was doing previously. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more like this in the future, check out the channel, check out some of my customs that I've done. Leave a comment, let me know what you would like to see in the future. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you want to check out more projects like this in the future. I'm going to get back to a regular schedule, upload pretty soon. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoyed Predator Badlands, and as always, stay crafty.
Thank you.